Alright, welcome back. Today I just have a short video on some marlin that a friend at work gave me. And he gave me a steak, and I did some reading, and I found out you can slice them into smaller pieces, kind of like what I have here. This little piece right here is actually a chunk that was hanging off the steak, and as you can see, I did a little taste test on all these. But, and I still have the steak on the smoker. So I just wanted to run through some of the ingredients on this and let you know how it came out. This is my first time doing marlin or any type of fish on the smoker, so I wanted to go ahead and do it. I'll let you know how it tastes here in a second. But on this one here, I have my favorite stadium mustard right there. So I coated the whole fish with it, and then I put the holy cow rub on. And that I normally put that on brisket, and then the IPA rub, which is on this one, I also used Thai peanut salad dressing or marinade. I've used it on a salad. I think it's pretty good. Anyway, and then I put the IPA rub on from Dizzy Pig hop infused seasoning. So that's actually pretty good. It's not as strong tasting as you would think it is, because normally when people taste a beer and they get that strong hoppy flavor in their mouth, sometimes you either love the bite or you don't like it. But that flavor is actually really good. And then obviously right here I have the sriracha. I put that on there, and then I put on just regular, just a light sprinkle of salt and pepper. And then this one, which actually I like, I seem to like the best. Maybe it's um, the sweetness of it actually masks the strong fishy taste. And it doesn't have a strong fishy taste like a bad fishy taste, but more like a gamey taste. So um, with these other ones, the fish comes through a little bit more, and I'm hoping that the rest of the steak actually tastes like this piece here. And what I did was I just took some brown sugar. I saw another video, but the guys didn't talk about it. It was a video out of Mexico, and the guys didn't talk about how much, what ratios to use. So I just put it in a bowl, and I figured I was going to coat the whole thing with brown sugar. And then I stumbled across another article that talked about maple syrup. So this is actually, I use this in, normally the reason why I have such a big jar of it is because I usually use it in my barbecue sauce. So, and I make a maple bourbon barbecue sauce, which is actually really nice. And this is all organic. So I really like that. I get it at Costco. It's a little bit cheaper because it's like, if you don't, it's like $8 or $10 for a little jar at the local grocery store, and I just think that's entirely too much. But and then I use I just use the kosher salt there. Um, so I guess I use like a half a cup of sugar and like 2 tablespoons of salt, maybe a little bit less. I didn't want to overdo it on the salt because I figure you could add it, but you can't take it away. So what I did was I put a little bit of soy sauce in the bowl. Then I added the maple syrup, and then I let the steak sit in there. And while I was getting the salt and the sugar stirred up in another bowl, and then I sprinkled it over the top of the steak. Um, it's a pretty big steak. It's like this big, like a big giant cube. So Then I rubbed it all over. I let it sit there while I was getting all this other stuff ready and all these other ingredients all mixed together. And then I put the steak on, and I let these sit for a while because I know that the steak is really thick. So I let these sit for a while before I put them on, and then I put them on, and I don't know if you can see it. It's actually really done. It's almost to the point of being too dry, but because of the type of meat that it is, that it's not really terribly dry. But this one here, actually the sugar and the maple and everything, you can't taste it too much. It just has that sweet smoky flavor, and I'm hoping that the rest of the steak turns out like that. Um, Go ahead and like and subscribe, and go ahead and share this video. Oh, what I did was on the smoker for the marlin, because we don't North America or in the United States, we don't really catch marlin on a regular basis. So I think my buddy went to Mexico, and he said, "Hey, can you throw this on your smoker?" I said, "Okay." I'm going to take it to him tomorrow, and we'll see what he thinks. But 200 degrees, and it's been on for about 2.5 hours right now. So these were about 2 hours, and then I got all the stuff together and put it up here. So um, about 2.5 hours. I think I'm going to let it go for another 15-20 minutes. It's already at 130 something degrees internal temperature. I think it was 136 or 8. So I'm going to let it bump up a little bit. I did bump the smoker up because I have to get ready to clean all this stuff up and go. But I'm going to try to get the internal temp up to 140 something, and then I will let it all cool, and then we'll put it away, package it up, and I'll take it in tomorrow. All right, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and go ahead and give me a comment, or if you have any questions, put them down below.